I will serve Christ in tea. Right Reverend Dr. Samuel Nehemiah Olenu, Bishop of the Diocese, Mrs. Hector Angmo, lay chairman, past lay presidents, past lay chairman, past bishops, Nime, Name, other dignitaries present this morning, clergy, lay, organizations, and their leaders, spouses of ministers, and members of the Accra Diocese of the Methodist Church Ghana, and friends and loved ones who are either here or listening to us on various media platforms. I'd like to bring you all greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I stand here on behalf of the executive of the Methodist Church Ghana, constituted by my good self as your chief servant, the lay president, Mr. Atentri, who is here, and the administrative bishop, to bring the bishop, the lay chairman, and the Accra Diocese well wishes on behalf of the Methodist Conference for a successful synod, and as the bishop has said, a spirit-filled one. The Accra Diocese, until the creation of the Northern Accra Diocese, was one of the most powerful dioceses in the connection. In June this year, my colleagues and I would have been ministers of the Methodist Church for 40 years. 35 of those years, I have been a member of the Accra Diocese. So I have seen powerful synods that look like a replica of conference. I'd like to urge you to keep that standard for this diocese. I urge you, as you go through synod, to keep foremost in your minds the vision statement of the Methodist Church Ghana, to be a Christ-centered and spirit-led church for the holistic transformation of society. And Bishop, it seems to me that although you didn't make a direct reference to it, parts of this vision statement are embodied in the address you gave. I'd like to urge the ministers to provide leadership in improving our worship life. I said this at last year's Fellowship of the Kingdom. Let's cut out unnecessary chatter as Paul enjoins Timothy, and the frills and too much talk and announcements, and make the prayer life of the church worship spirit-filled. In the last couple of weeks, wherever I have been, I have drawn attention of the ministers to the fact that the hymns are there for us to sing. Let's stop. We are running out of time. So first and last, let's sing the hymns. If there are 8 stanzas and you remove one, I will understand. But 4 or 5 stanzas, first and last, and there are 3 stanzas that have never been sung in somebody's lifetime. We come to church in worship. Colossians 3:16, Paul says, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your heart to God. So let's make sure that the content of our worship life is rich so that people would desire to come and worship. And of course, let's improve our social impact as we have heard in the bishop's address. In my own address to synods, which will be read for you, I have said that we want to put the emphasis on children's ministry and the youth. The only line I disagreed with the bishop's address is when he said we encourage the youth to candidate for ministry. Don't encourage them. Look for them. I stand here because somebody looked for me. And I know a number of people who that minister who candidated us actively looked for us. As I sat here, I have counted the number of ministers seated here, maybe a little over 70. And I was trying to figure out how many Ghana ministers we have. That's your challenge. That's your challenge. I'm not an ethnic, ethnocentric person. I'm from Ekwapim Latte. Both of my parents are from there. I grew up in Takoradi. I married a Fante from Ejumako. 2 of my children are married to Asantes. The 3rd one has brought a Ghana woman home. He hasn't told me. He has told his mother. I'm sure he is writing his essay on how to come and face me because he knows I will ask questions. But in my heart, I have agreed. So I'm waiting for him to come. So encourage Ghana ministers. You were, 35 or 36 when you entered the ministry? I was 22. And when you encourage younger people to enter the ministry, they have longer years to serve, they make an impact, and they are a blessing to God's kingdom. It doesn't mean that we put aside those who are old. My challenge to you is look out for young, gifted people who are prayerful, spirit-filled, who want to enter the Methodist ministry, and make sure that you encourage them. So that's the only line in your address that I think I'd like to add to. My dear friends, I have sent a message through the bishops to all our ministers to make sure that social media is used responsibly. This past week, there have been 2 issues of the Methodist Church on social media. One of them, of course, is the issue on tithes, to which I responded briefly. The other was the Koforidua Diocese renovating a ward in the Central Hospital. That did not get any traction. And anybody who is smart and asking the Methodist Church how we use tithe should have put the 2 stories together. But when people make their minds about you, they talk without evidence. I received a notice from somebody to say, when I responded, I didn't address the tithe issue. And I've told him, I don't owe you an explanation. I owe the Methodist people an explanation, not you. You are not a Methodist. So I have left it there. But we'll come back to it. My friends, the Methodist Church Ghana is one of the most structured churches in this country. Decisions are made at the leaders' meeting. They are moved on to the quarterly meeting. They are moved on to the synods. And then conference decides. So it can never be true that we receive resources in the church and we don't account for it. Methodist Church Ghana is one of the very few churches left in which every Sunday we account for offerings and tithes taking. We don't read it to the world, but we read to those who contributed to it. Beloved people of God, my point is recognize the structures of the church and use them. This year, as part of my communication to conference, I've told the bishops, no administrative selection of conference members. Vote at synod. Count, announce before you bring the results to me. Because sometimes we just select the people administratively and then there's a lot of talk. We are a very democratic church, and I urge you, leadership, to recognize those structures and work with them. Everywhere I have been these past few months, I have said something for them to respond. And I like to say that for us to respond to. Say, we are Methodist. We love the Lord. We love His church. We will walk in His word. Thank you very much. God bless you.